Is it going?
It said
It
stream
says
is
we're
live.
live, but did it not play the intro?
It did not play the intro. No.
That is so weird. Okay, well there it is. A little delayed, but we got it going. I don't know what happened with that. But hello, whoever is going to be watching today. It is a lovely Monday, February 16th. Obviously, surroundings look a little bit different. I'm here with the lovely correspondent Keith. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the invitation this afternoon. Happy to spend some time with you. So I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a crazy day. Just wrapping up some stuff, schoolwork, obviously. Big days coming up, but we got a lot of big stuff to talk about. As you may know, we will start easy. We'll go with the Daytona 500. I'm realizing that takes up the entire my face, but it's whatever.
Fine. It looks good. It looks small.
I'm just gonna stand a little taller just to make sure people can see me. But so Daytona 500 was yesterday. They did start it it's so crazy because they said 1:30, but then they didn't even actually start engines until 2:15. So how much did it even matter? I don't know. But they were able to get the entire race done with no delays, other than obviously the cautions. Crazy race, by the way. Absolutely insane. I'm not going to be like my dad and rate the national anthem, although I did watch that. I think it was Dinah Jane. She's from Fifth Harmony. So that's all I know. I kind of listen to her, kind of don't. I think I texted Scooter. I rated it a 44. So there you go, Dad. There's that. Obviously, gotta love the flyover. Thunderbirds.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I saw a video or about the audios, and one of them were going diggity, or diggity boys, let's go racing over the mic. It was really nice to watch. But got the engine started. Green flag flown by Bart Simpson because the 800 episode was there. Not really sure. I don't really keep up with symptoms like that. But stage one, it's pretty mild, I would say. Zane Smith did end up winning stage one, although it was kind of a little chaos here and there. I can't remember there was a caution that did come out. I was just trying to remember when exactly in the period. Do you have that information, Keith? Can't remember.
So, exactly. Well, I mean, the caution came out. I think it was was it lap 38 or something like that? Byron actually got caught up in that wreck, and that was, that as soon as that happened, I thought of Jack, because Jack was asking, "Hey, why don't you just not qualify?" And that's exactly why, because he got caught up in the wash in a wreck. I mean, he ended up. We'll get into that maybe a little bit, but he ended up finishing 16th. Was an incredible job for him to fight back. But I would say stage one was kind of uneventful. There was some sportsmanship going on. Everyone's trying to save fuel and playing cat and mouse. It was a lot of feeling, things that everyone was trying not to lose the race.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, it was pretty mild. Nothing crazy happened. But like you were saying with the, were you saying Byron, or are you saying, oh my God, who else was it? Was it Herbst you were talking about?
Well, Herbst at the very end.
Yeah,
end of the race, Herbst calls that was a big part of that crash. But the first crash during stage one, Byron got.
Yeah, I know. I was so nerve-wracked about that. I was like, oh, well, it's over. And then there was the second crash too, and stage two, I believe, that happened, and he got involved in that too. But it was still minor damages. Or no, he hit the wall, I think. And he was like, it's fine. And I'm like, is it fine though? Are we gonna be fine? But stage two, a little bit more exciting. They were going into stage two, I think, under a caution. So Bubba Wallace was able to win that under the caution. So not too crazy. He got the stage win. That is all that matters in the end. Went green. It was pretty mild. Stage 3 too, obviously, until the very end, where everyone starts making these moves and going for it. Would you, because I think there was a stage there's a stage 2 crash too, I think, and people were saying like, oh, it might have been the big one, but obviously the big one I think was during the final lap of the Daytona 500, where everybody basically just goes out. Crazy finish, by the way. It was Elliott. First of all, it was McDowell, and then they were waiting on it. He was obviously waiting on a caution. Everyone else was pitting under a green flag. McDowell was waiting for a caution. He got the caution, went for the pit, I believe, and then it was a whole bungle of chaos. You have like the last couple laps coming. I think it was Reddick, Elliott was there. There was another car there. I think it was it Smith? Smith was up there. I think it was the 3 cars.
Zane Smith and Keselowski were all So there were 2 wrecks really with like 12 laps to go. You know, one of those wrecks took Hamlin out, which I thought at one point with about 20 laps left, I was like, Bubba and Hamlin can have a good path here if they stick together. But that last wreck. So I was watching the interviews, Sarah, at the end, and I'm like, damn, he's in the health center, the care center. Like, so I went back and looked. So the finishers that finished 2 through 5 all had to go to the care center before they could be interviewed. They all took their interviews after being released from the care center. So they were all, so I went back and watched it. Stenhouse, Logano, Elliott, and Keselowski finished 2 through 5, and they all crashed basically to finish the race. So the call by Mike Joy was phenomenal. I don't know if you heard that. You know, sparks are flying, and Reddick wins the 500. So yeah, Tyler Reddick is your winner. Those of you that may not follow NASCAR, there's this certain minor league baseball player that happens to own this race team. His name's Michael Jordan. Yeah, also happens to be the greatest basketball player that's ever lived. So I thought that was really cool to see Jordan get the checkered flag and for his team. Obviously, Hamlin didn't win the race, but he's co-owner of that team. So that's unprecedented territory as well, Sarah, right? No one's ever won the 500 and won the race as a driver and an owner. So that is a very unique space to be in. We pre-show, we talked about it's the most laps ever where a driver has led at least one lap, which is super, super unique. I thought NASCAR, you tell me, I thought NASCAR, to use like a basketball or football, basketball term, held the whistle. They could have called some cautions when they didn't, so I thought that was a new approach. People are saying that both of those last 2 crashes, you technically could have called cautions at a different time. Obviously the last wreck, they let things play out. There were some people that were screaming that could have been a caution because there was people on the tail end of that lead lap had to slow down, and when you're finished the race, that could present a problem. So I thought, that they definitely swallowed the whistle. I think that's the term. They're at the end. So I thought that was unique as well.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely took some time. I think even just like, there were some that maybe they could have called and they didn't, but it even took them a while to call that stage 2 caution. I think it's the one I'm thinking about. It took them a second. There was a delay, and like the announcers, everyone kept saying like, "Oh, caution! Nope, not yet," and then finally came on. So I'm not really sure like how that strategy would work out. I mean, obviously, I would think some racers would be kind of like upset about it because I mean, obviously, it affected I think their chances to be able to get ahead in the race.
Right.
But from what I know, nobody really likes anybody there once they're in the cars. Outside of it, I don't know what their business is, but everybody fights for their own. I mean, obviously you got your teammates pushing you a little bit. But just absolutely crazy finish. Reddick, first Daytona 500 win. Of course, Elliott was looking for his first win as well. So it always hurts right in the gut right there. But Reddick was able to get it done. Talking to Scooter mentioned that he liked his car scheme, and I was like, it's Chumba Casino, like let's Chumba, and it's a free online casino. So I was like, hell yeah, give advertisements there, I guess. Trying to think of
couple things. So one, Reddick led one lap in this race, and that was the last lap, which is just wild and absolutely bonkers. You know, that's wackadoo to me,
Mhm.
to be honest. And then check this out, Sarah, check this out. Carson Hocevar, who got the white flag with 1 lap left, okay? Where do you think he
Mhm.
finished? Where do you think he finished in this race? And he was in first place with 1 lap to go. He
Who was it
finished
again?
Carson Hocevar, who was my
Oh,
he was
yeah,
my,
he
he
wrecked.
was my
Oh
dark
gosh.
horse pick, remember? He was my dark
Yeah.
horse pick yesterday. He finished 18th after
Oof.
being in first place with 1 lap to go. That's
Crazy.
phenomenal. That is pretty phenomenal.
I mean,
So
that's why I felt so like on the spot when Midnight and Jack being like, pick a driver. You can't pick a driver for Daytona 500. Nothing stays the same. Like it's not
right.
whatever you think is going to be the favorite might not even happen. Like neither of us brought up Tyler Reddick in our picks. We didn't even think that was going to be I'm not saying that he's not a bad driver or anything. Like he's a great driver, but like we just didn't think that was an option. And then the NASCAR gods be like,
he was under the radar for sure. Yeah, he was definitely under the radar. You know, one thing was unique. I don't know if the casual fan would have noticed this. Is you notice like with about right before everyone's going to pit for the last time, the Toyotas were lined up pole side, inside, and they wouldn't let others through to get to the pit, the ones that needed fuel, and it totally messed up a lot of. That was an interesting. I never really. They literally blocked pit road. You know what I mean? They stopped people from trying to get down so they could get off the track. So I thought that was super unique. This race was, I wrote down, it was interesting. Like the last couple laps were incredible, but it was just like interesting. You almost had to be like a NASCAR nerd to follow some of the race. You know what I mean? Because it was just kind of more of the same. But as the race went on, there was more desperation. And then just like, I had mentioned this yesterday, somebody was going to make a huge mistake, an inexperienced driver. And then that last lap, Riley Herbst, who, really didn't have really the car to be up there, but he was playing the fuel game. So he was up there. And, he is on the 2311 team, by the way.
Right.
So he was kind of a company man and did some questionable blocking there. Kozlowski was not happy. You should go back and watch his interview at the end. He is pretty pissed off about how that went down. So yeah,
I believe you over that. I mean, a lot of the experienced guys, they give a lot of hard times on the newer drivers. Right. What you should and shouldn't do as you say it. Matty Ice joining in. You ain't rubbing, you ain't racing, right? Isn't that how it goes?
That's it. There's a lot of rubbing yesterday, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, 100%. There was. I think it was the stage 2 one because it was number 88. They thought he started at first, but I was like looking at it a little bit more, and I think it was I don't know, like obviously somebody got loose because that win was crazy. I think it was what they said it was the windiest Daytona 500.
Yeah, it was windy.
Yeah, so I think it was that one, and they thought it was a 88. I can't remember his name is for some reason clicking on me. But they thought he was loose, but. I don't know.
88's Connor Zilic.
Okay, yeah, it was Zilic.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, they thought he got like loose and caused a crash, but I don't know. That one was definitely an interesting perspective for sure.
Yep. But it was a good race. It's in the books. NASCAR is, turns the page. These weeks stack up quick, and I think they're in Atlanta this week, which is a nice, it's not a super speedway, but it's not a small track either. So it's a good progression and good product that NASCAR has when they go to Atlanta.
Right. My dad updating me. Swiss got a goal. It's 2-1 with 7 to play. I gotta update that. What do we think? We think that's. What else can we talk about on Daytona? Are we wrapping it up?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I think we captured, painted a picture for our audience there of us being NASCAR heads and what's that's like. Hopefully, we gain a few additional fans along the way, and they'll come along for future conversations when we talk NASCAR, because there's 35 weeks left, so there'll be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a Southern sport. I mean, I obviously, like, I think Daytona is trying to advance their fan base for sure. But the Daytona 500 it's always the one that brings you in because it's the first race of the season. It's always so impactful, with all the chaos that occurs.
Yep.
Okay, so we are going to go into our Olympics. Play the theme song. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna do it differently here. We're gonna start with a little bit of the smaller stories that I've at least packed up on. Keith, I mean, you can follow along
Yep. Go for
as
it.
you plan to. So I think first, obviously, to talk about is with we'll talk about the medals first. We'll bring up the medals. We got Norway in the lead with 28. They got 12 gold, 7 silver, 9 bronze. Italy's right behind at 23. The home country, always got to do good. They got 8, 4, 11. And then USA in third place with 19, 9, 6, and 5. A lot of the other countries you got in the running, there's Netherlands with 12, but they got 6 gold. You got Austria behind with 15 in total. Sweden right behind with 5 gold, with 11 in total. Switzerland also with 5 gold, but they got 10 medals. And then Germany, they have 16 medals overall, but they only have 4 gold, so it kind of puts them a little back. But definitely, what is going on right now kind of just looks like how as you imagine it. I mean, there's a bunch of countries that are more so dominant in the winter sports than they are in the summer sports. That's just given fact. I mean, Italy doing great in their home country. I feel like that's pretty given as well. We got another thing. Hey y'all, I think it's the network tagging it. I'm not sure who's on that. Is that me or is that? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
But it's one of them. It's good. One of the. How many even are there? I can't count on my fingers.
We got a deep crew for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track with. But let's try to think. Yeah, that's it. So a couple of the smaller stories we will talk about. We have to talk about the ice skating, and technically, okay, it's Boss Bees. What up, B? My bad. I didn't know who it was. All right. We obviously do have to talk about some ice skating drama. I believe it was just the men's free skate going on, but a gold favorite, Ilya I'm saying that wrong. Oh God, like Jack. Melanin, he was one of the favorites to win, right? And he choked and he got 8th place. Now, obviously, this is shocking to everybody. And a lot of people were saying, like, oh, well, he was just stressed out. But then a lot of people are like, okay, well, he put that on himself. Like, my dad was saying that because, he's the quad king. But my perspective of it is, yes, like, it's obviously very stressful. But there's even debates that I picked about that it wasn't just him. There was other competitors that were falling in that same spot of ice, by the way. And obviously the IOC is talking about, the ice is fine. Like it's up to where it should be. But there's obviously debate about if it actually is where it should be because the competitors were falling in the same spot. And there's even reports that it was, soft and melting. So obviously it is what it is. I have to give kudos to Kazakhstan. I can't remember his name. It's like Mikhail something, but he's from Kazakhstan, and it's his first gold medal. And it's Kazakhstan's first gold medal in the event itself of ice skating. So obviously you have the sad news of the favorite not winning, but this is a great story coming from Kazakhstan. Because, I mean, you don't see that often very much, and it is well-deserved. Obviously, it would have changed if Ilya did better, but, I mean, you still have to give kudos to Mikhail because, I mean, that's a great performance itself and a beautiful story.
Did Ilya fall twice or just once?
I believe he fell twice,
okay.
Or maybe it was, like, one fall, then he also had, like, an under rotation somewhere. I watched, like, the clips, obviously, of, like, him falling. It was on my TikTok, and, of course, I'm so much involved social media. Like I know so much just from social media that I need to work on it. But it's where I get my news, and TikTok. Ilya is on TikTok, and people are concerned about his repost because it was starting to show that he like might be suffering mentally, like he's in his head or something. So there is a bunch to consider about that. So people are obviously feeling bad, and they're like check up on him, like they don't know if he's okay because his reposts were kind of depressing about like not being enough or something. So it's so dramatic.
Yeah, I mean he choked, right? But I mean, think
Yeah,
about it, like 4 years he practiced, trained,
yeah.
everything for this moment, and he's just not built for the.
Yeah, and I mean, like it happens, and it's not like he's a 39-year-old that's not going to return to the Olympics. He's a young kid. He's going to come back, and if anything, it's just going to be a greater comeback story. I mean, you see that all the time where they go one time or they go in and they don't get the results that they want, then they come back and it's better than ever. Like this kid's got time. There is no need to be concerned. Now, say if he does it a couple times over and over, be like, okay, maybe let's calm it down. But he's a good kid. He's a good, talented young kid. There is no need to panic about him having his Olympic debut. I think it's his Olympic debut. I'm pretty sure, but like having one bad Olympic Winter Game moment. Like it's okay. Everyone calm down. He'll get there.
Going back to the medals, Sarah, you broke it down, but what events? I mean, I've seen a bunch of curling, a bunch of figure skating. Obviously, they're playing hockey, but medals haven't been determined there. But what events sort of are completed or mostly completed, and what individual like events do you recall that are still kind of remaining?
So from what I do know, I believe obviously hockey is still in play. We will talk about that in a second.
Okay.
I believe curling is coming to a end. If I do remember, I'm pretty sure like the finals are going with that. I think we still got bobsledding to go on. Jamaica. What you know what I'm talking about, eh?
Yeah.
Jamaica.
So it's been a lot of skiing, like a lot of ski jumping and a lot of skiing that's done.
I've kept up with a little bit of it. I will talk about eventually. I was watching the women's snowboard, the dual moguls, which it was actually their Olympic debut in that sport. So it's the first time they were doing that sport. Elizabeth Lindley, U.S., got the bronze. Jalen Koff got the silver, and then it was an Australian snowboarder. Her name, I think it was like Jakarta Anthony or something like that, but she got first place. She got the gold, but it's still a great, just like a crazy thing. Like I was looking at them snowboarding and be like, man, I kind of want to do that. But I live in North Carolina. I would have to go to the mountains in order to even try snowboarding, which I never have in my entire life. So I'm not really thinking why I thought I would be good at that.
You'll catch on quick.
Yeah. It'll be fine, guys. I'll just have my Olympic debut at like 30. Don't worry. So yeah, we got a lot of men's round robin curling going on. I think there still is some freestyle skiing qualifications going on, and then we have our ice hockey as well. Our bobsled, I believe 2 women training comes up, and then there is some speed skating with the semifinals and the women's as well, which we will talk about speed skating. I did put it on here. I'll just bring it up now. What I also found myself watching was the men's speed skating. And if you have not heard the name Jordan Stolz, you really should, because the stories are incredible. I believe a kid from Wisconsin just breaking Olympic records and world records. It was insane. I mean, even before that, you had there was a Canadian breaking the who's breaking the Olympic record as well. But it was Jordan Stolz gets the gold, breaks the Olympic record. You have in Netherlands, I think it was like Jenning de Boo. I'm probably pronouncing that terribly wrong. But he gets the silver, and then there was a Canadian that I'm not remembering his name, but he gets the bronze. So I did find myself watching that. I believe he's got 1 more or 2 more events to do in, so I'm sure he'll break a couple more records because, that seems like to be the thing he's on. It's his 2nd gold of this Olympic tourney, so he is on a roll, and I don't expect him to stop anytime soon.
He's 21. I just looked it up. That's
21 with 2 gold medals. Can you imagine? I'm 21. I don't have gold medals. Where's my gold medals?
that.
That's if this man he decided to join.
There's the boss.
Oh my goodness. Can't
We
maybe.
lost him. Maybe.
he'll get back to us eventually. He's working on it. I'm not sure really what he's still doing. There is a fun story I do want to talk about, and then we will get into the hockey. There is a wild debate going on about curling. And of course, it's not typically a sport I think a lot of people find themselves involved in until the Olympics come. But people are mad because there's reports of the Men's Canada curling team cheating. I don't know if you've seen the picture, Keith, or the video, but he drops, I can't even remember what is it called? What is the thing called?
Yes. It's called a stone. I think it's called a stone.
He drops a stone, right? And he pushes it, but then you see him pushing the stone with his finger after he drops it. Very, very crazy, very scandalous. This is top notch here. Do I have to? Is he okay? I don't know what he's doing.
So he's releasing the stone.
Can you guys hear me?
Then he's touching it. Then he's touching it after it's past the line. Where you have to let go of the stone.
And then Canada was fighting with Sweden's. I just remember his first name being Oscar. I don't remember what his last name was, but I remember that obviously Canada being very mad at this Oscar person, and Sweden saying, "We'll show you the footage. We'll show you the footage." And the guy's like, "Oh, I never did that." Crazy. And there's even reports that he did it a second time. This is insane. So but I don't keep up with curling that much until it's the Olympics. So it's just a very funny story to find so many people invested in because cheater. And then the IOC kind of really isn't doing anything about it. If anything, they're doing the wrong things to the wrong thing. Because you had that, not to get into politics, but you had that Ukrainian athlete got banned from participating because he was trying to honor his late teammates. It's rough. It's rocky. I hope they figure it out eventually. But it's so crazy to see cheating in the Olympics, and it's not like Canada's getting any punishment for it. I don't think. It
was crazy to see. Curling's just so. It's almost like bowling. It was. But it was what I thought was cool was people were so demonstrative about it, and the juices were flowing. Competitive spirit was out there, and they were calling them out on it. So it was cool to see. Question for you about the Olympics in general, if you don't mind. How has for someone that hasn't watched nowhere near as much as you have, how has the time difference affected your ability to keep up with it and to watch it? Because what are they, 6 hours ahead or something like that?
Yeah, they're 6. I think it's either 6 or 8.
Okay.
But they're around that time. So at least where I keep up with it with the hockey games, there will be a hockey game on at 10:30. So I can't actually remember. I think I was watching, oh my God, what was I? I was watching something on Thursday. There was a game on at 10:40. And with my classes is I have a class at 9:00 in the morning, and then I get out at 10:30, and then I have a 2-hour break until my next class. So I've been having a blast with the 10:30 hockey games because I'm like, hey, it's starting with my break. And I will literally be eating lunch in my car, having my phone set up to watch a hockey game. It's great. It's a beautiful setup, if I do say so myself. It makes me look kind of lonely, but it's fine. I'm okay with the personal time in my car. Or I'll just be I'll have my notes studying or something, and I'm just watching hockey in my car while eating lunch. It's very peaceful. And I'm just yelling at my phone, and people probably think I'm crazy, but it's okay. It's fine. I am a little crazy. That's what matters.
So I don't want to hijack where you're going next, but I do have a little bit of ESPN breaking news from not the Olympic news, but it is hockey news.
Right.
And I'm sure you guys will cover this in detail, but this is pretty fresh, and it's sad news, unfortunately. So per ESPN, a shooting inside a Rhode Island hockey rink Monday left at least 3 people dead, including the shooter. 3 others injured, and the 2 high school teams playing fleeing off the ice as it all unfolded. So it says outside the arena, tier families and high school players still in uniform could be seen hugging before they boarded a bus to leave the arena. So it sounds like some sort of targeted attack, maybe a domestic family dispute involved in this. So terribly, terribly sad news we're bringing here, live on the show, but it is late breaking. It is sports related. It is hockey related. Obviously, this channel has an emphasis and a love for hockey, so it has the listeners that would be interested in this sort of content. So it says the shooting took place in the stands at Dennis M. Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, a few miles outside of Providence. So we will track that for our listeners and viewers as the evening goes on. But there is some pretty late-breaking, unfortunate, tragic news that we're here to report. We report all the news. Not all of it's always good, unfortunately. So our hearts and prayers are with those families affected by this tragedy, and the network as a whole and Drive Time will keep everyone updated as we move forward, as we learn more, as they say.
Yeah, I cut out a little bit. I don't know if you said it. From what I see, it says 2 victims and the gunman are dead, and then 3 hospitalized. So,
okay,
seems like the end of it is there, obviously, but the emotional impacts still go on forever.
I didn't want to take Drive Time off course, pun intended.
Wow, way to kill the mood, Keith. Oh my God, what is wrong with you?
I felt like that was impactful.
Curling.
So back to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry about that.
How am I supposed to detour from that? I can't. We have to talk about hockey now. Oh God,
we're going to talk about hockey. It's a good diversion. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that, aren't I?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm gonna roll with the punches here, obviously.
There you go.
So I gotta update this on the bottom here, but our Olympic hockey is getting close. We are basically getting close to the medal rounds for the women's hockey, and got some playoffs going on before you can figure out the semifinals for the men's hockey. I got to update that at the bottom, but I believe that Canada has beat Switzerland 2-1. So that gives them a ticket into the gold medal game against USA. Are we shocked? No. I think literally everybody expected that. There was nothing saying anything different. Because, I mean, it's iconic. I'm pretty sure they've played each other a lot. And the last couple of times, it's been a 3-2 final. So make our predictions there. Bet some money on that. You might win. So I believe the bronze medal is Sweden versus Switzerland. I know you're not crazy into hockey, Keith, but what you got a prediction on that? What do you think? What do you think out of those two?
I'll go with the Swiss.
With the Swiss? Okay. I like that pick.
I like their uniforms better. So.
Their uniforms are better, I think. I mean, I do kind of like Sweden. Like I like the blue and yellow together. I know that's like a crazy match to like, but I like the colors. It kind of pops out a little bit. So I like Sweden a little bit more than Swiss, but it's okay.
There you go.
So gold medal would be U.S. versus Canada. This is tricky. This is always a tricky one because I mean, like. It's the top 2, and like they both. I'm pretty sure they haven't lost a single game in the women's. Maybe. Just in time, we're talking about hockey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, I'm on like headphones and everything else. I'm trying to find a quiet spot. So
you're good.
You mean you don't want to talk about hockey publicly in a hospital? What's wrong with you?
Oh no, I will do that. I am. On the women's side, it's the U.S. is to lose. They've given up 1 goal this entire tournament. They are playing crazy good hockey right now, and the crazy part is they've scored 30 goals. They've only got one person that has more than 4. Layla Edwards is having a hell of a tournament. I think it's the U.S. women's to lose. The Canada barely survived the Swiss today. If the Swiss had any type of offense at all, they would have been in trouble, but they don't. So. The U.S. won the first time, 5-0. I don't see this on Thursday. Thursday will be at 1:10 p.m. our time. Is what time the gold medal game is. Yeah, Thursday 1 p.m. 1:10 p.m. technically. So will be when that puck drops. It should be a good game. I mean, but the U.S. has played really well against Canada lately. But it's still U.S. Canada for a gold medal, so I assume we're going to get Canada's best. But I think if the U.S. plays like they have the last 6 games, which has been dominant, they'll be fine.
So clearly the best 2 teams, Maddie, but USA is still head and shoulders above.
Right now, I mean, today,
Okay.
that's how I feel today. But I mean, Canada has won
I
the
mean, they
last 2
haven't
gold
had to
medal
play each
games.
other.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
U.S.
think
did
they
win
played.
5. They did. U.S. won 5-0 in the round robin.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Why
You
did I
know,
forget about that?
but Canada was without their best player and Poulin, who is their team captain. But I just think the U.S. speed and physical play is just going to probably be too much for them. But I think the biggest thing though this tournament is I really thought like teams like Czechia and Finland and Switzerland and Sweden were maybe catching up to the U.S. and Canada. And what this tournament has clearly shown is they have not. It's still the U.S. It's still a 2-team race between U.S. and Canada for the most part on the women's side.
Okay. Well, what's your bronze medal prediction? Sweden versus Switzerland, right?
I think Sweden will win. I think Sweden was only down 1-0 for 30 minutes today, and then they did a good job of keeping USA's shot. USA had a lot of shots today, but they were all from the outside until about the 10-minute mark of the second period, and then the US just took it over, which they have the capability to do that. So I think Sweden will probably beat the Swiss because I just don't think the Swiss are going to have enough to score, and Sweden's goalies played really well. So I believe it'll be Sweden that gets the bronze.
Okay.
General question for you guys, both men's and women's, kind of hockey related. How much has it affected the tournament without Russia at all?
Oh, I hate it.
Somewhat.
The women's side, not as much. The men's side, it definitely, Russia would have definitely been a contender on the men's side for sure. You probably could even include Belarus in there on the men's side. On the women's side, no, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Russia was kind of a minor. Yeah, they maybe would have been in the competition for bronze, but it's still two teams, 2 countries that have just. If you remember the old days of women's college basketball when it was basically Tennessee and UConn, that's kind of where we are right now, women's hockey. There's just no one else that's come up yet. Yeah, there's just nobody else that's come up.
We'll do a NASCAR analogy. What, like Earnhardt and somebody else?
Yeah, something like that.
Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, so let me jump in on the men's side real quick, just because I probably will have to go back here because we've another family member show too, so it's kind of like I'm doing this real quick. The men's side, it's Canada's to lose. Canada has just dominated everybody, kind of a little bit surprising. I think they won the 4 Nations tournament. The fact that the U.S. played them tough twice and Finland played them tough, they just seem like they're in another gear right now. I will be surprised if it's not Canada. The U.S. got really unlucky with likely having to play Sweden in the quarterfinals. That's basically either U.S. or Sweden is going to be out before they get to the medal round. And I think a lot of people had U.S., Canada, and Sweden as their likely medal winners with Finland. So the men's, that's going to be really tough draw for them in the quarterfinals. I like the way the U.S. played against Germany their last game. That's their best, most complete game. If Connor Hellebuyck plays like he did in that game, we should be able to beat Sweden, but it would not surprise me if we lose to Sweden. What's crazy is either Latvia or Germany is going to get into the semifinals, and then they've got a chance to maybe get a medal, which would be crazy fun for the sport. But I don't think anyone saw that coming either. So, and then you throw in Czechia, not Czechia. What's the other one? Serbia into the mix too. So there's going to be a surprise team that's going to get a medal just because the way that the seedings worked out with these the qualifying round games are tomorrow. Those are going to be for the 4 teams that then will survive to. Basically, it's kind of like the college football playoffs. You got 1 through 4 that gets to bye. You got 5 playing 12, 6 playing 11, and then they'll go on to play the other teams. They don't reseed until the semifinals, which is weird. Don't ask me why. It's kind of screwy, but there is still a chance for U.S. Canada for a gold medal, but it's going to be tough. For the U.S. is going to have to get through Sweden and likely Finland to get to Canada. That's just a brutal 3-game stretch to do it.
Question about Canada real quick. I thought their goaltending coming into, I had heard that it wasn't the best, like a little suspect. I mean, we got Bennington, Thompson, and Kemper, right?
Yeah, Bennington's played 2 of the games. Thompson's played the second one.
And maybe got there?
I maybe. I mean, yes. Can they? Sure. The U.S. has done it before, so can they get there and be gotten? Maybe, but I would say the same thing with the U.S. goaltending. Honestly, right now, what's the difference for the U.S. if they're going to do well? It's going to be because of their team defense is probably still the best in the tournament. But Canada's scoring is just lethally good. I mean, all four lines can just bury the puck, and they're all four lines of doing that. I mean, Connor McDavid is just playing lights out. Sidney Crosby's playing lights out, and that team is clicking right now on all cylinders. I mean, they beat a really good Czechia team who I think was a kind of a chance to win a medal. They beat a really good Switzerland team, and of course they beat France, which everyone's going to beat France and Italy. Those two are the worst teams in the field by far. But how well they destroyed two really good teams that a lot of people kind of had as a sneak pick to maybe medal is very concerning if you're the U.S., who has only really probably honestly played one really good game. That was the game against Germany, where I thought they played really well for 60 minutes. But their defense is still the best in probably the tournament, so they've got a shot. But but we'll see. I mean, Sweden hasn't even played a good game yet, and that's what's scary. Is you go up against a team that is loaded with talent that hasn't played their best yet. You kind of think it could be coming.
Right. Yeah. Great insight.
We try.
Any other comments, Maddie?
I loved your curling stuff. That was great stuff. Yeah. It's just hysterical to me. I love watching curling, and surprisingly, the U.S. is doing really well. They got their first ever medal in mixed curling. The women's team is 4-1. I think they won again today, so they're on pace to make it to the semifinals. And the men's team won again today, so we have a chance for the U.S. to win a medal in all three curling events, which has never happened before. So yeah. Yeah. I'm all for it. The only thing that would have been better is just that they would have actually gotten into a fight on the ice with it. That would have made it.
Got, my service, my provider is DirecTV Stream, and almost all the curling's been in 4K. So I've watched more of that than most other Olympic events because it's really, I mean, it's not it's not incredibly exciting like skiing, but the picture is just like to die for. It's really clear.
Yeah.
So it's captivated me some. So I've watched more curling than anything else.
Yeah, it's been good. I do want I feel bad for Ilya, on the men's skating, finishing 8th. He had a rough free skate. The kid's 21 though. I think he'll bounce back, and he's going to have plenty of opportunity to do well. It's hard. You go by the nickname the Quad King. You got to deliver, and when it came time, he just didn't. But he still got a team gold, which is good. We'll see how the ladies skate goes later this week. Their short skate starts tomorrow, and then I think their finals on Thursday as well. So Thursday's a big day on the ladies' side. You'll have the women's gold medal game, their free skate for gold, and then the gold medal game for the guys is Sunday. So you got the qualifying round tomorrow, the quarterfinals on Wednesday, and then the semifinals on Friday. So it's going to be fun. Most of these will be in the early afternoons. So if you're lucky enough to be watching, getting to work from home, you'll have something on TV to watch.
Good stuff.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go.
All right.
But I did want to jump on real quick. Great show. Keith, thanks for jumping in and helping out Showtime today. I definitely appreciate that.
Anytime.
Anytime. Guys, by myself.
You will. I know you would have done. I know you do fine. But it's better when you got somebody to shoot the shit with, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I got 22 people in here. I'm sure somebody will talk eventually.
Yeah, throw some stuff in the comments for these guys. Definitely. All right, guys, take care.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Be safe. All right.
I think we got it. All right. Yeah. I knew he was gonna try to come in. That's very on point for him. Whatever he's got going on, he'll try. That's important.
He is in that midnight rider category where he can just it's in here, and it's just he only has to either see it or hear it one time, and he never forgets it for the rest of his life. It's flipping believable. Super talented.
Yeah, so I think we're about to go into the men's. Obviously, Matty Ice kind of started it off, kind of started the fire for us. So we got a bunch of playoff categories. Now I'm not sure who goes to who in the semifinals when they do get reseeded. But we got Germany versus France, Switzerland versus Italy, Czechia versus Denmark, and then Sweden versus Latvia. whatever winner of these 4 teams, again, don't know who goes to who, but you got Slovakia, Finland, Canada, and US being the contenders for these semifinals. It's gonna be crazy, definitely, for sure. It could go anywhere, I think. I agree, like, with my I think Canada is definitely going to be in the gold medal game, but I don't know if you remember my predictions from earlier, but I thought Finland was getting the gold. I still am kind of on board with that. It's not the exact path that I thought it was going to be, but I'm still pretty confident that it's Finland or Finland Canada gold medal game at least. I could see maybe U.S. getting in the bronze, but I'm not even really sure against who. Maybe they would probably get against Sweden or something. I'm not really sure. It could go anywhere. Obviously, it's gonna be getting down to the wire here soon. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. I did see something earlier though. I'm not sure if you remember this, but when I can't remember exactly. It's been close to like 2 years at this point, but obviously the U.S. team playing for Johnny Gaudreau, him and his brother Matthew were killed in that tragic accident by that drunk driver. So that's the only, obviously, even as a U.S. citizen, as myself, obviously I want U.S. to win, but for even better reason of me wanting U.S. to win, do it for Johnny Hockey, as they call him. Just obviously a devastating story, and of course now we have more devastating stories coming out of Rhode Island. But just
question: would they have maybe been on this roster?
They would have, yeah.
Okay.
Johnny Gaudreau is one of the best U.S. born players. He was phenomenal. Like, I don't know if you saw certain clips, if you haven't watched playing the U.S. games, but they haven't had his jersey in there. There was also, I believe, the World Juniors, or it's like the IIHF championships. They had his jersey when they won gold in that. So he definitely would have been on this roster. So devastating to see for sure. If he was on this roster, I could honestly say like maybe US would probably win the gold. So I mean, I still do think they do have a fair chance too, but that's kind of like a heartfelt moment being like, okay, if they do win, it's going to be a great story. Just like if Jamaica wins the bobsled, it's going to be a great story because, I mean, it's Jamaica, but obviously even with the devastating Hurricane Melissa that hit earlier, I'm obsessed with weather. But keeping up with that, I mean, if their spirits stay high, everything, they always have their spirits high, let's be honest. When I was watching that opening ceremony and like Snoop Dogg was getting hyped with them, I was like, this makes sense. This makes perfect sense. Snoop Dogg is living his life, by the way.
Oh, yes, he is. Yeah,
he's enjoying. I never would imagine him as a commentator, but he's doing a pretty good job. So,
all right. So if we it sounds like Canada is a consensus. At least make it. Obviously, they're going to make it to the championship game. Most likely.
I would say they're definitely going to be a gold medal contender.
Who between USA and Finland, if you had to pick between those two, would give them the best run for their money? Maybe have the best opportunity to stage a little bit of an upset there.
Let me look at. I'm trying to remember if they have played each other. I will put this while I do look. Like my dad says, 13 jersey has been in every U.S. locker room for every national tournament since he has passed. So if that does not tell you how important he was and how big he was, then I don't know what will. Yeah. Let me look here. I want to see if they have played each other, because if they have, then obviously I think U.S. and Canada played each other, but I'm trying to look. I don't think it was. Oh my god, look quicker. It's been so many days. It's crazy. I don't think I can find the exact moment it is. But I would say just based off of roster, obviously you love seeing Canada versus US, but my predictions itself, I would say Finland's going to give Canada a run for their money for sure. Okay. It'll be interesting to see how the semifinals play, because like my dad, like they could literally get Sweden or Finland before even get, and those are all gold medal contenders right then and there. So I think once the semifinals happen, and I know the exact order this is going in, it'll be way easier to tell where it's going to be based off of. But Obviously, U.S., Canada, Finland, those are my medal predictions, but I could argue you could see Sweden in there. Czechia's been playing pretty good as well. So it could really go anywhere. Not like the Daytona 500 go anywhere, but it could go anywhere.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh. Trying to see how many times I can credit Daytona 500 to make these analogies to make sure. Let me see if there's any other big things we can talk about. I was looking at the schedule to see what other sports might be upcoming to talk about, but I don't know because we got 10 minutes to spare if there are any topics we've missed.
No comments right now?
No comments, no, other than things. So if anyone wants us to talk about anything, well, mostly anything, we will get you. Just let us know. We will speak our minds as much as we can know. Let me look here. What day is it? The 16th. Men's ski jumping, Austria gets gold, Poland gets silver, Norway gets bronze. That's not shocking there. Figure skating pairs, Japan. Did Georgia get silver? Oh, that's crazy. And then Germany gets bronze. I'm finding out all this stuff by myself. Oh, there was bobsled. It was monobob today. It was a heat 4 though. US gets gold, Germany gets silver. Then there's another US that got bronze. That's exciting. What else is there on here? Just a bunch of curling, round robin. Italy beat US. Oh, come on. Korea beat China. Switzerland beat Great Britain. Canada beat Japan. Okay, that's women's. I was gonna start hating on them, but it's the men's Canada that cheats, not women's Canada.
Okay.
I will say when I was watching the snow stuff, there was so again, this is like the first time they've done moguls. And the way that I was understanding it from what the announcers were telling me is obviously you have to stay in stay in your lane. If you fall, you're basically disqualified, but there's also certain rules where you can't go around. I think it's called the center something. Again, not 100% sure, but it was a Jalen Koff versus a Canadian. I can't remember her name at the top of my lung right now, but it was Jalen Koff versus the Canadian, and Jalen Koff fell. So she was going to be disqualified. But then the Canadian went around the center, whatever you call it, thingamajingy, and then that's an automatic disqualification. So Jalen Koff, even though she fell, still made it into the gold medal, finalists, the gold medal round. It was absolutely crazy. And then even there was Elizabeth Lemley. She fell. Okay, let's not do that. There was Elizabeth Lemley. She fell so she was only able to compete for the bronze medal, which she was able to secure that. But just crazy story. Jalen Koff, she literally, if she fell and that Canadian didn't go over the center, she wouldn't have been in the gold medal round. But since the Canadian also did something, not saying it's cheating, I think it's different in the terms of snowboarding or skiing. Right. But it's just crazy that she was basically able to redeem herself and then get the silver. Obviously, she still lost to, I think it was an Australian. But just still a crazy story where you had a chance and you almost lost it, then you got it again. It was luck, if you call it at that. I'm not really sure what the terms are in Olympics. But that is a crazy story when I was watching that. I'm trying to think of what else could have been missed.
I think you nailed it. Your Olympic bandwidth is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I expanded it. My dad, I think he's mostly obsessed with the figure skating and hockey, but I try to widen my horizons. I love Olympic time. I prefer the Winter Olympics over the Summer Olympics anyway. Summer Olympics, yeah, they're cool. But I remember people saying the Summer Olympics, they're kind of calm and collected, and then winter is like, who can jump down a hill at the fastest speed, spread out. Like, it's absolutely insane how the variety is. Like, the Winter Olympics, I think, are definitely more exciting in that term because you just have such these crazy sports that, like, you never would have thought somebody would be, like, interested in doing. Like, how did somebody invent the luge? That is still my number one question. How did people be like, yeah, let's send somebody down on a sled on their back, or you could do the skeleton and go forward on your stomach. Who's doing that?
Yeah.
Like,
or who's going to jump 168 meters or whatever it is with the ski jump? It's like,
who's gonna snowboard off some rails and then do some flips? You also got like the snowboarding half pipe where they're like going back and forth, just flip. I would be nauseous and on the ground at that point. If you have me flipping, be done.
I got an idea. Right? Let's have a ski jumping event, and then let's have a giant ski jump and just go up.
The giant.
Like 100 more feet, whatever it is, and like let's just be more extreme. So pretty
like
crazy.
with Summer Olympics, it's like, okay, let's have them run 500 meters and let's have them run 1,000 meters, and then call it that. And then there's also a biathlon in the Winter Olympics, right? Where you have them skiing and then they have to shoot and then they have to do something else. Like, who makes up these sports, and why are they Olympic sports at that? Like, I've never met anybody that's done like any of those careers as like professional. Like, people go snowboarding and skiing for fun. Maybe it's just because the area I'm in. I'm in the South. I'm not aware of people's game down here. I haven't heard any stories of any snowboarders from North Carolina. I'm not sure.
Not at all. Yeah, like you said, it's just so different. It's so extreme for us. I think, maybe if you lived in Colorado or Utah, maybe you might look at the Winter Olympics a little bit differently. But for us, like, it's a different, there's a little bit of snow outside here, and then you turn on the TV and there's some snow there.
We got ski places. Oh my God, what am I tripping? We got ski resorts in the Appalachian, but like they're good, and like the Appalachian do get snow. I mean, we've had a crazy winter weather already with getting our historic whatever. I think here we got like 6 inches, but that's crazy talk because
is it all gone? Is it off the roads?
Oh yeah, it's been gone. From what I do know, like there is still like ice places, like there's still ice around. But I think this week we're supposed to go up into like the 70s, so it's confusing. But hey, that's North Carolina weather for you. I don't know what it is up like there in Maryland, but we get spring one week, and then we get winter the other, and then you get summer. You never know what you're going to get down here.
We still have snow in areas like where it was plowed or where it was bunched up or pushed. It's still mountains of it.
Yeah, we had that for a while, but I think that's actually officially disappeared because I think it hit 60 degrees like a couple days ago. So if there was any snow after 60 degrees, call me in Brest because I'm not really sure. Oh,
there you go. Good stuff.
Oh, okay. Here we go. We got one. Canada is going to win both gold medals in hockey. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that low key. Especially for the women's. That says for men's, but for the women's, like it's crazy. And obviously you have to give your kudos to the PWHL. It's a new league that we've kind of invested down here. We've expanded. I think there's 6 teams now, but it's so weird how it's like New York. There's a New York team, there's a Boston team, there's a Montreal team, there's an Ottawa team, Minnesota Frost, they're back-to-back champs, and then you got 2 teams in Vancouver and Seattle. They're doing a little West expansion, but a bunch of players from the PWHL actually can pull up those steps to route out the minute. But I think the Olympics, seeing these PWHL players play is such a great shout out to them, and hopefully get a bigger fan base in the PWHL, because I mean it's women hockey players. I feel like if any women's sports are always kind of so looked down upon, so trying to get that fan base up, it's definitely great. They did like a little showcase thing, and they brought a game down here to Raleigh and Lenovo Center, and the show out was great. I was so mad that they didn't bring a team to Raleigh, but it's fine. I'm sure our time will come. Let me pull it up here. I think the PWHL was like posting about how many players were in each. If I can pull it up.
While you're looking at that, talking about women's sports, I mean, look at the WNBA in my area.
Yeah, exactly.
The NWSL, the Women's Soccer League is really. Did you see Trinity Rodman? Dennis Rodman's daughter got the first $1 million soccer contract to be a professional player. So that's pretty significant and groundbreaking.
Yeah. So, well, okay, for WNBA, call me wrong, but I would say like the fan base has gone up mostly because of Caitlin Clark. Am I wrong?
Yeah, and the girl from LSU, her name's escaping me at the moment.
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, yeah, them two in conjunction.
She's problematic though, isn't she? I've heard she's a questionable character.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I mean the eyeballs have gravitated because of Caitlin Clark for sure. 100%.
They are doing games at different venues across. Yeah. So I had it up here. There was they don't know what. I guess the bronze medal game would be Canada versus. The bronze medal game would be Sweden versus Switzerland. But for just the U.S. versus Sweden game that they had earlier, there was 20 players altogether. And then for the Canada versus Switzerland, there was 25 players. So just a great shout out to the league itself
Cool.
and trying to get their fan base widened up a little bit. Great opportunity for them to have the players play in the Olympics, and obviously the NHL players play as well, because it's been since 2014. Hurry up. There we go. My bad. It's been since 2014, I think, since NHL players have played. I'm not sure if I got that part, but
okay.
I think it's 2014. I was like 8. No, I was 10 when that happened, so I'm not sure, but it's a little hard for me to kind of have these stats out here and there, because I'm like, I was 12 or 10 or, oh my gosh. But yes, very cool indeed. It's kind of interesting to see if they will. I was talking about it with somebody because one of the players, I believe, oh my god, I can't. Kevin Fiala. I remember his name. I just can't remember which team he was actually playing for. But he got injured, obviously, in a game, and he's out for the entire season, like going into the NHL. So it kind of makes you think, okay, is the NHL going to change their mind? Because I think it was an injury that happened in 2014 where they were like, that's where they backed down on it. But the players want to do it, like I feel like if they want to do it, let them do it. I mean, an injury is just one of the risks that you're going to take in these kind of games. But I feel like a lot of people would want to get like injured to play for their team medal, So it'll be interesting. I hope the NHL sticks to their decision to keep the players in the Olympics for the 2030 Winter Games that we got I was going to say coming up. That's in 4 years. What am I talking about? I always forget that it's like 4 years apart, but like then the Olympics itself are 2 years apart. You have the Summer Olympics in 2028. I forget what year it is. Sometimes I feel like I'm still stuck in 2020. But going into that, we've hit an hour and 3 minutes, just a little over, but we did it, I would say. Is there anything else we need to cover? Any last minute thoughts?
Sarah, no, just thanks for having me on. I'm a big fan of the show. I listen to every week, so thanks for letting me tag along with you today.
Yes,
I enjoyed, love talking NASCAR, so it was good to kick off the show that way, and have me on anytime. I'm ready.
Yeah. No, of course. Thank you for staying, because who knows? I would probably just be yapping to a screen and no reply. But I like yapping, so it's okay. I don't know if you know that term, but it's a Gen Z term, yapping, just talking a lot. I do that, like I'm doing right now. Anyways, if y'all don't know, you can follow us on Twitch, technically, yes, YouTube, Facebook, X. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, a bunch of also audio apps that I have not remembered completely because I usually zone out when my dad's talking about it. We got Coach Devon, I believe, is on tonight at 7. I don't know if he's said anything else.
Pretenders and contenders. Yeah.
Pretenders and contenders. Yes, we got that coming up. We got the Tuesday night flight coming up, obviously, on Tuesday. Wednesday, passenger seat with Jack Carr, the Jack Carr. Thursday night throwdown. I haven't had to do a rundown in this in like months, so
you're good.
Here, help me. Thursday night throwdown. Friday. Is there anything Friday? Oh my god, I forgot.
No, I don't think there's any Friday. It's Saturday night.
No Friday shows. Okay. And then Saturday night showdown, and then you got your Sunday morning rise. You can wake up with us here on the Sideline Junkies Network. My words are done. I'm shutting off. I'm shutting down.
You're good.
Obviously, like my dad says, tell your loved ones you love them because you never know what moment is guaranteed. Prayers to the Rhode Island community right now with the hockey. Obviously, I'm sure we'll get updates about that for next week or throughout the week. And hopefully get that figured out. But prayers to them, prayer to anybody involved. It's terrible seeing that happen at a hockey game and with such young kids involved too. But I think with that, we are good to call it quit. I'm gonna try doing my hand thing while also trying to end the stream. But good. I was gonna say good night. It's 6:00. I'm not going to bed yet. Good evening. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Keith. And with that, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.